You're watching Keeping It Livable. Today we're going to have an out-of-this-world conversation with our guest from NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Prince George's County. Stay tuned.
What's the most important thing you can do to be successful? It's to stay in school. It's cool to be in school. Student attendance is critical. Everyone knows the important role it plays in getting good grades. If your child is absent, please send a written note stating the reason for the absence. It's helpful to contact the school directly to arrange for makeup assignments. Because of the new state assessments of student performance, attendance is more important than ever. Talk to your child about the importance of attendance. You know they'll be listening.
Yes, be cool, go to school.
This is Keeping It Livable, the program that highlights the people, places, and events in gorgeous Prince George's County. And now your host, Dr. Jacqueline Brown.
The NASA Goddard Space Flight Center is an impressive and sprawling campus. Located north of Washington, D.C., it is home to the nation's largest organization of combined scientists and engineers, and is a national leader in the development and utilization of cutting-edge technology.
Goddard's mission is to expand our knowledge of the Earth, the Sun, the solar system, and the universe through observations from space. To ensure that our nation maintains leadership in this endeavor, Goddard is committed to excellence in scientific investigation, the development and operation of space systems, and advancing new technologies. Goddard Space Flight Center has the facilities and expertise to develop, design, build, test, and operate the hardware and software for satellites, scientific instruments, tools, and even robotics. Goddard is extremely proud of its heritage of safety, quality, and reliability.
Last year, we were honored to feature the Nobel Prize winner in physics, Dr. John Mather, who is a senior astrophysicist in the Observational Cosmology Laboratory at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt. Today, we're joined by two educators from the Goddard Space Flight Center who are going to talk about a recent Hubble milestone, and they'll also tell us about their educational outreach programs. Dr. Robert Gabry is Chief of the Education Office at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. Since 1966, Dr. Gabry has been involved in quality improvement initiatives in all educational levels, including the State Department of Education. He holds a Ph.D. from Syracuse University. We're also joined by Dr. Antoinette Wells, who is an education program specialist for the Education Office at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. She coordinates and manages professional development opportunities to inspire and engage students in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses, otherwise known as STEM. She manages K through 12 programs to support the state school initiatives in STEM education throughout the Northeast region. She holds a Ph.D. from the University of Maryland. I want to welcome both of you to Keeping It Livable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have questions that either one can answer, both can answer, because you have such a wealth of experience to bring to the viewers. And so I'll start with, could you explain briefly the mission of the education efforts at Goddard and how that fits into NASA's efforts to do exploration? I mean, how people don't think of this as an educational thing, and they need to start thinking about it more. So how does that fit?
Well, it's actually part of NASA's charter to do education.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
To actually communicate with the public what it's finding so our education efforts are directly tied to 3 outcomes, really. One of them is workforce development.
Oh, okay.
A second one is to attract and retain students in STEM careers, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the third one is to create partnerships in order to do that, to achieve it. So basically what happens is we have all the science that's going on at Goddard. It's taking that science, which obviously is very enthralling and challenging for students and motivating, and use that in order to get them to look at careers in exploration.
Well, I think the thing that's so interesting to me to hear that is that the educational effort is not a sidebar. It really is a part of the mission and the charter. That's fascinating. I don't think a lot of people know that. Are your educational programs year-round or strictly a series of summer programs? And then the other thing I'm going to want to know is what age groups are you attempting to reach?
Our programs are year-round. We have several programs. We have student interns. We have student mentors. Of course, during the summer, they have a 6 to a 10-week internship opportunity. During the school year, some of them come in for the entire school year, 3 to 4 hours after school. They've ended their school day, and they work directly in our labs, directly beside a scientist or beside an engineer.
Oh, that's exciting.
Learning the tools of the trade, developing those skills to help them move forward within the STEM career.
It's an eye-opener for a lot of the young people. Because sometimes if you do the STEM courses, independent of watching its application, you don't know where they fit in, you don't get the energy behind it. But to actually come to the site and
actually use those skills directly in the lab. Yes.
Wow.
Students in Prince George's County really have an excellent opportunity to engage. And I mean, the program that Antoinette is talking about, the students come in 3 hours a day, 4 days a week for the entire school year.
Really?
And they are assigned to work on missions, so we don't move them around and say, well, you'll spend a couple weeks here and there.
Fantastic.
So when you think of an entire year for a student, when something launches, they fully know that they helped build that or set those instruments in place, tested them. They're totally engaged.
That's just humbling.
Which would take many people years to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they really are part of the mission.
Right.
This is wonderful. What's the age group?
16 years of age.
Okay.
And they're usually juniors and seniors in high school.
That is fantastic. Can you give us an example, though, of some of the programs that you put directly into the classroom?
We have our distance learning network, where we can bring a scientist, an engineer directly into the classroom to enhance or integrate the science content into the curriculum. We have our aerospace education specialists. These are individuals that they are teachers and excellent teachers, and they bring NASA materials directly to the classroom. They work with the teacher. They do team teaching, student programs, and things of that nature to really get the content out into the environment. We also support a couple of Prince George's County programs, such as Achievement Counts and Lead the Way, and things of that nature. We work with pre-engineering programs throughout the county. We have engineers who come out for Engineers Week and expose students to the various careers, the kinds of things that they do daily in their work environment.
I just think that is so fascinating.
I think one of the things that best summarizes our role with the schools is support. The word support. In your promo, you were talking about the pressures the schools have for performance of students.
Yes.
So we see ourselves not as an interloper, but a support system to helping teachers and schools achieve those goals in science, math.
Well, see, that's the partnership that we need, but especially in the STEM courses, because people, think they should shy away from them, and those are really the courses for the 21st century.
Oh, yes.
And to make it real and alive and hands-on and have the distance learning and all of the other mission sensitive kinds of things, it's just wonderful. How are your programs evaluated? How are the NASA education programs evaluated? How do you know that you're doing what your charter says and you're doing it well?
Well, we have a series of objectives and measures that are established by NASA as an agency. Those are also shared with the Office of Management and Budget, who oversees whether we're spending our money appropriately.
All right.
And we actually do a lot of getting feedback from teachers and students. Our emphasis is actually primarily on, if we do a workshop for teachers, it's not the feedback on how well the workshop went.
Right.
It's actually whether the teacher utilizes any of that in the classroom, and then whether it makes any difference in the teacher's repertoire of content for approaching those skills.
And that should be the measure, because it's a matter of the effect. Right, and the outcome. So that's amazing. You mentioned teachers, and you mentioned some of the workshops. Are there other things that you do to engage teachers?
We do curriculum integration. We do curriculum writing. We've had teacher ambassadors from Prince George's County. We have a NEAT teacher, which is a NASA educator, astronaut teacher in one of the Prince George's County schools.
Really?
And we're very proud of him. Yes, he's at Bowie Senior High School.
Wow.
So we're very proud of him.
What do you mean, an astronaut teacher?
It's been a couple of years now. I guess it's been about 5 years. NASA put out a call for teachers to become astronauts, and the teachers would go to space, directly to space, and teachers all over throughout the nation applied.
Right.
And from that, they were now narrowed down to 100 and down.
And we had one in Prince George's?
Yes, you had more than one, but the one that stuck with the program. The candidates were just alpha teachers, just top teachers, and we did not want to lose them. We saw a value here for the schools, for the students, so we started a network of teachers, and we offer them training, support throughout the school year, and they help us to get the NASA materials and education into the school.
This is so exciting. I can't wait to get back. Right now, we're out of time for this segment of Keeping It Livable, but please stay tuned as we continue our conversation about educational outreach programs at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and find out more about our astronaut teachers. This is absolutely fantastic. We need to get our astronaut teachers on.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
That is wonderful. Do you know that between birth and age 18, children spend only 10% of their waking hours at school? The rest of their time is spent in environments such as home, where parents control the learning atmosphere. Schools alone cannot educate our children. It really is a shared responsibility. Education is an essential part of any livable community. Are you doing your part to help educate your child?
We've got the perfect place for your next family reunion. Gorgeous Prince George's County.
We're ready to help you find great hotel accommodations, picnic facilities, discount admissions to our fabulous attractions, or to help you learn more about researching your own family history.
I'm Lucy Tiggle, your family reunion specialist. Call me and let me help you plan the greatest and best family reunion ever.
Okay, Okay, we're back and we're talking with Dr. Robert Gabry and Dr. Antoinette Wells from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. And if you were with us in the first segment, we found out a very interesting thing, that we actually have teacher astronauts here. Now, we talked earlier, though, about the Hubble. Can you bring the Hubble mission and the educational mission together, and how does that interface?
One of our major foci is actually to make sure that we're helping teachers in the content area. So not just how to teach or lessons, but actually content. So we have a program called Teacher as Scientist, which allows the teacher to come, literally hundreds of them in the summer, and work in laboratories side by side with scientists. So when they go back, students see that the teacher is not only a teacher, but also a scientist.
Oh, wonderful.
And when they talk about their experience.
Yes.
Well, the Hubble, of course, is a major program at Goddard, and we're getting ready for the servicing mission.
Can you just briefly go over, in a nutshell, the purpose of the Hubble so that the viewers can know?
Hubble is actually, we're trying to answer two questions that NASA is concerned with. One, are we alone?
Are we alone?
And two, where did we come from?
I love that.
And so it's trying to look back to the beginning of time, so we better understand our world. So the original word exploration you used is truly what we are about.
Okay. All right, so that's important to set the context. And so how do the teachers in education get involved in a mission that huge, that amazing?
They actually are assigned to work side by side with the scientists and the engineers who are working on the aspects of the repair mission that's going to be going up in October.
Right.
And so they're side by side.
That's going to be an interesting lecture. It's going to be an interesting demonstration in that classroom, because it's one thing to teach it, it's another thing to have done it and then teach it.
Right. And we do, during the school year, offer opportunities for the teacher to bring his or her experience directly into the classroom through our DLN experiences. For instance, we've had History of Winter, and the teachers, this is a snowflake research project, and they have an opportunity to go right back into the classroom while they're doing their research, and the students are just excited, the teacher is excited, they're involved in the research as the research is occurring and things of that nature, so it is very exciting.
Yeah, see, that's to me how education needs to be, because you're going to get the kids so engaged and so excited. But you mentioned something during the break about a teacher pushing a button.
Right. When you said how close do teachers get to the Hubble, actually in the original, when the problem developed with vision for the Hubble.
Yes.
And we
yes,
did the
I remember
correction.
that. Yes.
It was actually a classroom teacher who pushed the button that implemented the correction.
And was the correction done?
Yep.
Took a teacher. That's all I'm
Took a
saying.
teacher.
Took a teacher. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Right hand on the button. Well, I tell you, how can the students, though, prepare to get in the NASA pipeline? What should students do?
Right now we have several programs that we're gearing up for. We have a new program called Inspire. Inspire will start at the middle school level, and this is an opportunity for students and parents to join an online community. And this is where they learn about NASA, about its various programs. There's special tours and events that will be scheduled for the parents and the student to come out to center. We have our Sisters program, which we're very excited about. That's a program that's geared towards middle school girls.
Wow.
And we bring
that's
about
wonderful.
25 girls on center, and it's hard to get them off. They come on for a week. Wow. And they're exposed to the various careers and opportunities that are we're engaged in on center. So we start at the middle school and we continue throughout the high school level.
So if I start with you at the middle school, I can stay in the program? Wow.
Yes.
That's the concept of the pipeline that we're trying to develop. How do you take excellence and then encourage it?
All right.
So we would think of, we start off inspiring young children.
Right.
We move from that to engaging them
Okay.
in activities.
All
We
right.
move from that to getting them interested in learning more about it, educating them. We move
Right.
it from that to employment.
Right. That's
So
a,
they can
yeah, that's a
actually
well-articulated program. The what's the youngest? Is it middle school is the youngest, or do you do elementary?
We do work with the elementary schools as well, yes. We
Okay.
have, we have kindergarten
Kindergarten?
and preschools come out to Center for tours. We do puppet shows and things of that nature to excite them, to
Yes.
motivate them, to get them involved. We have a visitor center, very active, and the visitor center, that group looks at the age level, the group, what the teacher is trying to accomplish in the classroom, and we gear the tour and the activities for the day
Yeah.
around that particular
I
activity.
think what's so exciting about what NASA Goddard is doing is that the STEM program, reaching from kindergarten on through, and the pipeline programs, you know, I keep talking about these are the sciences and these are the courseworks and the skills necessary for the 21st century. But it's deeper than that. To me, it's like a core. It's like, this is core. I mean, this is like basic requirements for being a 21st century citizen, regardless of what you do.
Right.
And regardless of what you go into, these are your basic academic skills necessary for living in the 21st century. And I just think it's fantastic.
That's what I would say in response to your question to the students. To your expression and the promo of stay in school, be cool, is right on. But to also, as they stay in school, to remember to take advantage of all the applications
Yes.
of the knowledge they're getting.
Yes.
So they're just not classroom based.
That's
but
right.
they're, because that's a terrific motivator to see why you need to learn mathematics. And you talk about sending up a spacecraft that's going to take 15, 20 years to get somewhere.
Right.
And is going to, with pinpoint accuracy, get there. Tells you the importance of mathematics.
Yeah. And see, my experience has been there are two questions that the kids ask. They ask, what does this have to do with me, and how can I use it?
Right.
And the STEM courses can answer those questions easily and show you and put you into it, which is wonderful. And I know that the STEM program is the emphasis that you have. And you've explained why it's such a focus for NASA Goddard, and we talked about that being a real staple for 21st century folks. But, you know, I understand that you have educational relationships. We've talked about kindergarten through high school. You have educational relationships with local colleges within the county, and such as the University of Maryland, which is that all three of us? Are all three of us alumni?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were undergrad.
My
Your master's was there. Your doctorate, my doctorate. So we're all fear the turtle. Okay. And then Bowie State and Capital College. Can you talk a little bit about those programs?
Bowie State, we had a program
Teacher professional development.
Yeah, was helping
certification.
The certification
To
program.
certified math and science
Oh,
teachers.
that's wonderful.
Through
Okay.
Bowie State.
Okay.
Now, what that did with Prince George's County was work with the teachers who were on emergency certificates. When Prince George's County couldn't find fully
them.
certified teachers,
Right.
Bowie was running a training program.
Right, I remember
we
that.
linked with them on the training of the
Okay.
teachers for science.
Okay, that's a wonderful collaboration. That's excellent. It's a real win-win.
Now, Capital College, there's a program where Capital College students actually even control satellites in the air.
Wow.
They do the entire mission control
Really?
environment for existing satellites, and they're learning how to do mission control.
There's so much going on. You know, I always tell our viewers, I'm learning just like you are. This is just wonderful about all the resources that are available.
Bowie actually has a control room.
Bowie has a control room for the
Takes care
satellites?
of satellite.
Wow. And what about the University of Maryland? What are they doing?
Mainly research.
Okay.
We have research opportunities with the University of Maryland.
Especially in earth sciences.
In the
It's
earth
an
sciences?
The earth
Okay.
sciences, right.
Okay.
Center of Excellence.
All right. That's wonderful. I just need to know, are there any programs, and you might have mentioned it, that really bring in the parents also and the families?
We have the Sunday experiments.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
For
Okay.
parents
Can
and
grandparents
children.
come?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Parents and children come together,
All right.
and usually we give a synopsis, a brief summary of what the experiment is going to be on the website before they come, just to give them a general feel. We have the rocketry on Sundays where the students actually sit down and build a rocket, and they have an opportunity to launch it if the weather is good. And the visitor center is open on Sundays, so they have ample opportunity to come in and have a guided tour and learn about the various things that we're doing. We have several partnerships with the schools, the latest one being on May 10th. We have the partnership, the culminating activity of the partnership with the Owen Science Center.
Yes.
Where sixth graders had the opportunity to come and stay a week and learn about the various programs and science, earth science that was pertinent to their particular grade level. And on Saturday, there was a day-long event to share those experiences with the parents so that they could get more involved. And as I indicated earlier, we're starting the online community. Our target date is September, but I do think it will be up before September.
And on September 13th, we will have, it's a Saturday, we're going to have a community program called Launch Fest.
Oh,
That
wonderful.
is going, this year Goddard is involved in the launching of at least 8 missions that are, so it's a big year for the Goddard Space Flight Center. And so Launch Fest is going to feature all of that work that has been going on during the year for the community.
And our website has a parent.
Bring them.
Our website has a parent button where the parents can push and get more information and ask questions and things of that nature.
Isn't that wonderful? That is, boy, that's wonderful. I was going to ask you if there are any programs that target Prince George's County students, but I mean, you've named them. Are there any that we didn't discuss? The programs that target Prince George's County students?
Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots, the technology. We have the, what are robotics? That's not just Maryland, but those are the programs pretty much that we have. We have the Patriots technology program that we support, which is in Prince George's County.
All right, and that's unique for that. Now, you talked about the fact that folks can visit. The visitor center is open on Sundays.
Yes.
Are there any days it's not? Is it open 7 days a week?
It's not open on Mondays.
It's not open on Mondays. Okay, so then from Tuesday to Sunday, folks can visit.
Right, and we also have an educator resource center there.
Okay.
And this is a center that's set up for teachers to obtain resources, to get information about the resources that are available, and to get some ideas and suggestions, some tips on how to use them or incorporate them into their lessons.
If I bring my pilot program this year with Owen Science Center.
All right.
And all of the students who go to Owen Science Center, middle school students, are also coming to Goddard. And the Owen staff have been trained on how to use our technology that we call Science on a Sphere, which is a spherical representation of the world. And they do programs for the students. So for the last couple of months through the school year, and then again next year, we'll be collaborating with
So I can get in there by visiting? For my child is at Owen Center. There's also a website available, which is www.gsfc.nasa.gov/. Okay. All right. So it's right there on the screen. And write it down, parents, grandparents, citizens, neighbors, write it down. Get the kids involved. And get yourself involved. It is an absolutely wonderful experience.
And all of our activities are free.
And the activities are free. You can't beat the price. And there's a number that you can call, 301-286-7205. Again, we are out of time for this segment of Keeping It Livable, but I really want to thank our very special guests. It was wonderful, Dr. Robert Gabry and Dr. Antoinette Wells. Now more than ever, it's important to make sure that our youth have opportunities available to them for exploring interests and possible careers in science and technology. Parents and teachers, take advantage of what NASA has to offer. You never know, there may be a future Nobel Prize winner in your home or your classroom. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Brown, and I'll see you next time on Keeping It Livable.